Oh, hello, and welcome to the Joy of Painting Middle-earth. I'm Timbo Took, and this is a time when we come together to paint the most fantastic landscapes Middle-earth has to offer. Now, my little hobbits keep telling me I forget to remind you to mash that subscribe button, and when they say that, I ask if I should tell you to boil it and stick it in a stew as well. They just roll their eyes and tell me that was a hobbit dad joke. But if you do that, you subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment, let me know who's watching. And you share it with a friend you think would enjoy and appreciate the show, I would appreciate that. That lets the Council of YouTube know that you think others should see the show, and they'll share it and send others on an adventure. That's right. And speaking of adventures, grab your paints and your brushes, and let's go on one. All right, let's get to today's painting. I've got our canvas prepared. That means I've put that thin coat of magic white down. And why do we do that? Because we were taught how to paint by a wizard, the Blue Wizard. Bob Ross the Blue, of course. And that's what this is, a wet-on-wet technique. We've got that thin coat of magic white down. We've got our colors on the palette here. We have phthalo blue, alizarin crimson, sap green, burnt umber, ivory black, cadmium lemon, yellow ochre, and of course titanium white. So let's get to it. I'm just going to come into my phthalo blue here, load it up on my brush, and we'll come in and we'll do the sky. We're just going to come with a 2-inch brush and do some crisscross strokes here. Oh, you see that phthalo blue? Oh, that's a dark blue, but don't worry. It'll lighten up as we come down. It'll mix in with that white we have. There we go. And you don't want to mix it so much it's just one color. You want these areas where you'll have clouds in the sky as well. There we go. Just mix that together. Mix that together. There we go. Get it all the way up on the top there. There we go. Now we're going to have a little bit of water on the bottom today. So maybe just put a little bit of sap green in there. Just mix that together just to give us a variation in color here. There we go. Now we're just going to come and, oh, I've got a little tear in the canvas that I didn't notice before. That's okay. These are just fun paintings to do. We're not doing anything that's going to be hanging in a museum. Maybe our own museum, and that's a little bit more important. There we go. Just pull that across. Pull that across, you see. Bring it up and it gets lighter. Leave that area in the middle there. That's where there's going to be some light hitting the water. There we go. And just pull that straight across. There we go. Now let's put some clouds in the sky, shall we? We're just going to take that brush and I'm going to clean it off. Of course, I'm cleaning the brush in odorless paint thinner. And now we're not painting outside, so I can't beat the Sauron out of the brush against my easel, so I have a rubbish bin down here. And I just beat the Sauron out of the brush down there. There we go. All right, nice and clean, sort of. And let's come to our fan brush here. We're going to grab some titanium white for our sky. So just load it up for our clouds. Load it up on the brush there. Come up, and we're just going to see where the clouds might be. And then put those right onto the canvas. There we go. There we go. And you can see we used a lot of blue, so that just comes out. And there we go. And just bring some more clouds down, rub them into the canvas. There we are. A cloud right over there. Oh, we used a lot of blue there today. A lot of blue. That's okay. Now what we're going to do, I got this blender brush and we'd used that the other day for the first time, and it worked out well. We're going to try it on the clouds here. So I'm just going to come up just on our sky, just mix that together, soften that out. There we are. And that's getting a little blue. So we can clean that off as well. Dry that with a paper towel because we don't want to go in there and let that paint thinner run all the way down your canvas. So just come back up. There we go. Just soften those together. Just circular motion. There you go. There you go. Softening that sky. And we used so much blue on there that took all our white away. So I'm going to come to a clean fan brush. And we'll just come in over these clouds. Put a little more white in there. There we go. There we go. Now we can lift that up, bring it across. Oh, we're using a lot of paint today. There we go. And let's soften that up again. We got all those brush strokes. We can just bring those right out with this blender brush. Just lighter than air with this. Lighter than air, just softly, softly. There we go. There we are. Now what are we painting today? We're back in the Shire. Oh, we're back in the Shire. So let's put some hills in the back. We'll do some dark hills. Maybe grab a little bit of ivory black, mix in to our sap green. And we'll do a hill right back here. There we go. We got these hills throughout the Shire. That'll be the one that's the furthest back. And we'll come with another right over here. And he's gonna come right down in front of that guy. Right down there. And we're just tapping this in with that 2-inch brush. Just putting that hill right in there. We'll come over it with some trees and some other details. That's right. Maybe grab a little cadmium lemon. Get a little bit brighter green here. And let's bring a hill in right here. There we go. Push those others back. Those hills just roll through. There we go. Oh, and those brush strokes over there are still pretty strong, so I'm gonna come to that blender brush. And I didn't blend out that sky. Oh, there we go. There, you see? That just takes out those big strokes. And come back And just bring this grassy area in. We're just dropping in some background color. Oh, and what are we painting today? We haven't even talked about it. We're back in the Shire, and we're painting a villain's place. Old Ted Sandyman's mill. Now, he didn't start off as a villain. He was just sort of an annoying hobbit. He used to bother my grandgaffer Gamgee. Oh, he was not fond of him, I tell you. That is right, he was not fond of old Ted Sandyman. But then, when Sharky got to the Shire, you know Sharky, Saruman, that's right, he came for the scouring of the Shire, and Ted Sandyman joined right up with him. That made him a villain in the books. Oh, it did, it did. There we go. That's just the backdrop there. And we're going to put that mill right here on the water. But first we want to put in some trees. So let's give ourselves a dark shadow color to build these trees upon. We'll just go to some ivory black, some sap green, and some burnt umber, just to create that dark color we're going to put down. And let's just drop in, just some areas where some trees will be. This is the Shire, so it's filled with trees. There we go. We just want to drop in this in the back. Just using the corner of that brush. Maybe. Just drop those in, pull one up taller every once in a while. There we go. Maybe over here. And we'll bring some down even a little lower, a little closer to the water. There we go. Just drop that in. As I said, we're going to highlight these. We're going to highlight this. There we go. We're just putting that down. Bring it right down to the water there. Maybe back here as well. There we go. Put some dark, a little darker on some of these. Now let's get another brush. Now we're going to come into this 1-inch brush. That's right, and I've given him a little bit of a haircut. He was getting all raggedy, and he was straight across, so I gave him a little bit of a round edge. That would be fun, I thought, just to add in some of our highlight color. So we just want a bright green there, using our cadmium lemon. Just tap that onto the brush. And then just come here and we just highlight. There we go. There we go. Just highlight some of those trees. Thinking about the way the sun would hit there. There we are. Oh, and one thing we may want to do. We may want to give some of these trees a bit of a trunk. So we'll just take a little bit of our burnt umber. And just put a tree trunk in there. There we go. You don't need the whole thing. Just some of it's going to peek through, maybe some branches there. Maybe go a little darker on some of that. There we are. Now let's come back over. Let's come back over. Get some of our green and just drop in those highlights. There we go. Just start a little bit outside the dark and just bring that in. There we are. That'll give you those tree shapes. And maybe there's some bushes and things. There we go. Right there by the bottom of the tree. Just vary out your color. And you see that quickly, that easily. We're just filling this space up, filling that up with some trees. There we go. And we can bring some different colors right down there. Just come up to these trees. There we go, right there in the back. Just tapping that on, and you see you don't want to slide that brush. You just want to tap it on, and that gives you those chunks of paint that come off that give you some leaves there in your trees. And don't kill all the dark spots. Leave some of that and just give that a treatment back there. There we go. There we go. Maybe some at the bottom. You got a big bush. Follow that line right down. That's maybe a hedge there. Wash off that brush. Haha, just beat the Sauron out of it. There we go. Now, we're going to put in that mill over here. So we need to make some space for that. We put down quite a bit of color already. But we just want to cut out, pull that paint off. Just cut out where that mill is going to be. There we go. You see, you put it right in front of those trees. Right in front of those trees. Bring that down, right down to the water. Wipe off your knife as you pick up that paint. All right. Now we're going to put in this roof. So let's just come here to that dark color. We'll just put in that roof line. Come right here, just bring it in. There we go. And the roof comes down this way. Just bring it right over here. And then down this way. There we are. And that even comes back there a little more. That gives you that eave back there. There we go. Now this roof, this is going to be a thatched roof. So we want to use some of that yellow ochre to create that roof line color. Now let's just bring it up. We can bring our roof right down. Right down there. There we go. Bring that in from the side right there. And just give them the edge. There we are. Now, we're going to have an old miller's wheel right there on the side, but we'll get into that in a little bit. Let's use our colors here. Let's make up a color for the walls. Let's really make that a little bit brighter. Maybe add a little yellow in there. Just mix that color together on your palette. Just pick it up, push it down. Maybe a little more white. We want it to stick out from the roof color. There we go. That looks pretty good there. So let's pick that up and just bring our walls down right here. Bring it right in from the side, giving it a nice edge there. And sometimes I do these buildings and I cock my head to the side so I'm not in your way, but it makes me do the building all cockeyed. Oh, that's okay, that's okay. There we go. Now let's come this way with that. Right up here. There we go. Just bringing this down, and we'll highlight this with some boards. There we are. And bring it right in from the side here. Give that edge and bring it down. And some of that green below sticks through. Well, that's okay. That's what happens to these old buildings sometimes. They get the moss and things that grow on them. There we go. All right, let's give them some boards here. So let's just come to our burnt umber, just get a peel of that off, and let's come right down the side here. And another one there, another one there, and right on the corner there. There we go. Just putting some timbers on there. And maybe you have a lower part with some timbers there. There we are. And let's bring that on this side. There we go. And we're going to have our wheel and things over there. So we'll leave that there for now. But what we do want to do is we want to scrape out this part where that wheel is going to be. So I'm going to use, oh, my knife's coming apart. I'm going to use this short edge of my knife. And we're just going to take it right at this line. And we're going to scrape that out. And this will be where that wheel goes. Right down to the water. And then we'll come back up. We'll make this, it's made out of timber. So we'll put some of our timber in there. There we go. And just bringing that down. Just letting that burnt umber fall right off the knife there. And we'll bring it up this way. There we go. Now, of course, these wheels have to have spokes. So we'll put one right here, right there, right there, right there. Just bringing them down. There you go. Now that we've got our wheel in place there, now of course there has to be something holding that up, and we will have a wall made of stone. So that will come right down this way. There we go. That holds that wheel up, holds that wheel in place. There we are. And maybe even back there it attaches to the wall. There we go. Now let's give a base at this wall as well. There we go. And that just gives us something that we can put our rocks against. It'll come up the side a bit. There we are. All right. There we go. Before we go on, let's give them some windows here. Gotta have some windows to look out. There we are. Maybe there's one right back here where you can check on that wheel. All right. Let's make up a stony color. We want that wall made of stone. And I'm just taking some white into my black, making that gray color. There's a few other colors in there, but let's just put some stones on this wall. There we go. And they don't have to be perfect. They're just mortared in there. Put some over on this side of the wall. All right, now of course, maybe put a few highlights on those stones. Just grab a little bit of your white and just plop that on some of those. There we are. There we are. And you just dab that on. That'll break up that wall a bit. That makes it look like it was pieced together piece by piece. Now we want a little bit of water on that wheel, of course. So let's come to our white. And we're just going to put that in. Oh, we might need to use some liquid weight for this part. I'm just going to use my filbert brush with some liquid white there. There we go. And we just put that as the water there. And that will fall right down. And I'm just taking a little titanium white, mixing it with that liquid white. There we go, and just bring that down. And maybe we have some rough water there at the bottom. Just splashing up. Now let's take our 2-inch brush and we want to give this some reflection. So we just pull straight down, straight down. This will come back this way a little bit on an angle. There we go. Once you have that, just pull the brush. Let's clean off that brush. With a clean, dry brush, just pull it across. There we go. There we go. Give yourself that reflection. Just gently, gently, gently pull it straight across. There we are. And you can even do the same thing over here. Just pull that down. Maybe get a little bit of that dark color on there. And again, knock the color off the brush and just pull gently, gently, gently to the side. And that gives you that reflection. There we go. There we are. Now we have another thing right beside Ted Sandyman's mill. We have a bridge that goes across. So let's pull out where our bridge is going to be. This bridge is going to come right here. Oh, and it's a big bridge. There we go. And it even has a reflection. So pull out where that reflection will be. And then you can scrape out some of that color in there. There we go. Now that we have it ready for our bridge to come in, we're just going to put down a base color, a dark base for that bridge. Just mixing some ivory black, some burnt umber. And we're just going to bring it right down this way. Bring it. Just make that edge. There we go. Once you have that edge, just pull that down. Get it right up to that edge. There we go. Bring that right down this way. Just push that color right into the canvas. There we go. There we are. Now we want to make sure we have very dark area here because we have some arches. So we'll just build those in before we color this bridge. Before we put any color on this bridge, we want to put in those arches. There we go. Okay, that might be a little hard for you to see, but we have it kind of designed out there. So we're going to come and we're going to make a light stony color to fill in that bridge with. There we go. We're just going to get that right on our knife, and then we're just going to fill this in. This bridge is made of rock here. Just go back, get some more. And we're just filling in that color. There's that edge. There we go. Let's bring that in. Now we have these archways here. And we just want to be mindful of those. Maybe flip your knife over. Take it up from that archway so you can keep that right there. There we go. And just take some of that color and just add it into the water down here. There we go. And let's just make that a little more stony looking. There we go. Now you might be saying, oh, Timbo, your bridge looks like a mess. It looks like a mess. How is that a bridge? How is that a bridge? That's okay. That's okay. We'll just come back in just one moment. We just add in those colors. There we go. Now let's do a little magic. Let's do a little magic on this, like Bob Ross the Blue taught us. He taught us how to do some magic. And we just decide where the water is going to be. And we pull it straight down. There we go. Pull it straight down. Straight down. You see there? Oh, it still looks like a mess, you say, Timbo. Still looks like a mess. Oh, that's okay. We just pull that straight across. Straight across. There we go. And that gives us the reflection of that bridge. There we are. Then we can come back to our palette knife. Oh, let's clean that off. Pick up a little bit of that titanium white and the liquid white, the magic white. Just cut that onto your knife there, and then the water line. Oh, that'll come back this way. This one will come back this way. And right here, he's going to go the opposite way. He'll angle up a bit. There we go. And cut in a water line here. Right on the bottom of this. There we go. And let's put a water line right over here. Just cut that in. Cut that in right there. Oh, I picked up a little blue somehow. That's okay. Water is blue. That gives us some shoreline. Let's come back. Maybe some bushes over here. Maybe. Thin that out a little bit. Let's thin that bush color out. Maybe we tap in. Okay, let's give it a little darker background. Let's give it a little. There we go. Then maybe we'll have some bushes right here hanging off this wall too. Clean off our brush. Now come back to our highlight color. Just tap that onto the brush, and then we just give those bushes some highlights. There we go. You can put some right in the water there. We'll fix those in a minute. Maybe even some of that burnt umber. There we are. Just some ivy on that wall. Maybe we come up, just get a real thin alizarin crimson and just put in, there we go, just a red touch. Just a red touch there. There we go. Now again, we put that right in there, so let's just pull that down, and just pull that reflection out. There we go. And you can put that shoreline right down there, just to separate that from the reflection. There we go. There we go. Now, a few things left to do. Clean off this brush. Go back to our 2-inch brush. Maybe we're standing on this side of the shore by the green dragon, looking out over there. There we go. Just add a little bit of land for yourself to stand on over here. There we go. Right on the other side of this water. Oh, and if you have more time, you could even put in a little dock over here if you wanted. There we go. Just vary that color over there. Just give yourself some grass. Oh, and maybe over here there's some. Oh, let's see. Let's go to our dark color. Maybe we've got some seagrass and things over here. Maybe that comes up. Just put that, taking that fan brush, and we come up and pull it away a little. So you can see the wind is blowing it. Come up and pull it away. There we go. These are the types of things you see on the side of water where no sheep are coming and trimming the lawn. There we go. Now get a highlight color. Get a nice highlight and put right over with that. There we go. And you see, real quick, just make all these things happening right here on the edge of the shore. There we go. You can even take, you can get a script liner brush and just come into your dark green color there. There you go. And just put some long, that script liner brush is not very much of a liner. There we go. And that just gives you some of those things you find on the side of a river. There we are. And there's all kinds of little details you can keep putting in. You can come back and, just take the corner of your knife and you can scratch in some tree branches on this side. There you go. Just right in there. Just right down on the shore. Scratch in some of those. There we go. Then just come back over. Put a little highlight there. There we go. And you can keep going and doing that all day long. Or you can just say, oh, that's good, that's good. All right, I hope you enjoyed today's painting. There we go. Oh, Sandyman's Mill, Ted Sandyman. What a villain. What a villain joining the likes of Saruman. But not to worry, there were 4 brave hobbits who came back to town, and they taught him a lesson. That's right. That's right. So now there was another mill built that was a bigger mill that Saruman had built for Ted Sandyman. Oh, it was made of brick, and maybe one day we'll paint that one as well. But for now, I hope you have fun painting this. Goodbye, and God bless.